जय जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनार्दन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनार्दन जमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल 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 निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय पतित पावन महाराज की जय। I will share my screen. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Hare Krishna. So today we are going to discuss about Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter number 8, which is prayers of Kunti Maharani, which we are hearing continuously, and shloka number 37. If it is possible, one of you can be my chorus.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Okay, thank you. So please repeat after me. Apyadya nastvam sva-kṛtehita hit prabho.
Api adyanastvam sva-kṛtehita prabho.
jihāsasi sve suhṛdo nujīvinaḥ.
Jihāsasi svit suhṛdo nujīvinaḥ.
yeṣāṁ na cānyad padāmbujāt.
yeṣāṁ na cānyad bhavataḥ padāmbujāt.
parāyaṇaṁ rājasu yojitāṁhasām.
parāyaṇaṁ rājasu yojitāṁhasām.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So word by word meaning, api, if, adya, today, na, us, tvaṁ, you, sva-kṛta, self-executed, ihita, all duties, prabho, O my Lord, jihāsasi, giving up, svit, possibly, suhṛda, intimate friends, nujīvinaḥ, living at the mercy of yeṣāṁ, of whom, na, nor, cha, and, cānyad, anyone else, bhavataḥ, your, padāmbujāt, from the lotus feet, parāyaṇaṁ, dependent, rājasu, onto the kings, yojitāṁ, engaged in tvaṁ, enmity, translation and purport by His divine grace. Yesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O my Lord, you have executed all duties yourself. Are you leaving us today? Though we are completely dependent on your mercy and have no one else to protect us, now when all the kings are at enmity with us. Quite an emotional shloka. Krishna leaving us is, something unimaginable. Okay, let us see what Prabhupada is writing in the purport. The Pandavas are the most fortunate because with all good luck, they were entirely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. In the material world, to be dependent on the mercy of someone else is the utmost sign of misfortune. But in the case of our transcendental relation with the Lord, it is the most fortunate case when we can live completely dependent on Him. The material disease is due to thinking of becoming independent of everything. But the cruel material nature does not allow us to become independent. The false attempt to become independent of the stringent laws of nature is known as material advancement of experimental knowledge. The whole material world is moving on this false attempt of becoming independent of the laws of nature, beginning from Ravana, who wanted to prepare a direct staircase to the planet of heaven, down to the present age. They are trying to overcome the laws of nature. They are trying to approach distant planetary system by electronic mechanical power. But the highest goal of human civilization is to work hard under the guidance of the Lord and become completely dependent on Him. The highest achievement of the perfect civilization is to work with valor, but at the same time depend completely on the Lord. The Pandavas were the ideal executors of this standard of civilization. Undoubtedly, they were completely dependent on the goodwill of Lord Sri Krishna, but they were not idle parasites of the Lord. They were all highly qualified, but both by personal character and by physical activities. Still, they always looked for the mercy of the Lord because they knew that every living being is dependent by the constitutional position. The perfection of life is, therefore, to become dependent on the will of the Lord instead of becoming falsely independent in the material world. Those who try to become falsely independent of the Lord are called anatha, or without any guardian. Whereas those who are completely dependent on the will of the Lord are called sanatha, or those having someone to protect them. Therefore, we must try to be sanatha so that we can always be protected from the unfavorable condition of the material existence. By the diluting power of external material nature, we forget that material condition of life is the most undesirable perplexity. The Bhagavad Gita therefore directs us 7.19 that after many, many births, one fortunate person becomes aware of the fact that Vasudeva is all in all, and the best way of leading one's life is to surrender unto him completely. That is the sign of Mahatma. All the members of the Pandava family were Mahatmas in the household life. Maharaj Yudhishthir was head of these Mahatmas, and Queen Kunti Devi was the mother. The lessons of Bhagavad Gita and all the Puranas, specifically the Bhagavad Purana, are therefore inevitably connected with the history of Pandavas, Mahatmas. For them, separation from the Lord was just like the separation of a fish from water. Srimati Kunti Devi therefore felt such separation like a thunderbolt, and the whole prayer of the queen is to try to persuade the Lord to stay with him. After the battle of Kurukshetra, although the inimical kings were killed, their sons and grandsons were still there to deal with the Pandavas. It is not only the Pandavas who were put into the condition of enmity, but all of us are always in such a condition. And the best way of living is to become completely dependent on the will of the Lord and thereby overcome all the difficulties of material existence. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Dapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijanasetan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padana Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Shra Shri Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhescha Kripa Sindhubhye Vicha Patitanam Pavanebhyo वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्री गुरुदीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम्। Hare Krishna. Quite elaborate purport Prabhupada is writing here, and all magical points are coming in front of us, and something which we can always, connect with us. So we'll try to cover as much as possible. Purport is quite big, but yes, we'll try to understand as we proceed slowly. So we see here that that Lord is leaving, and that is very difficult for a devotee. If Lord is leaving us. Prabhupada, somebody asked Prabhupada, who is a rich person? So Prabhupada replied, the rich person is the one who has Krishna with them. Otherwise, the person is a beggar. He is not rich. And here we see that Krishna is leaving, which means, it is a very difficult situation. How can a devotee tolerate? See, Pandavas could tolerate everything. They could go to the forest. They could stay in the forest, in difficult conditions. But they were happy that Krishna was with them all the time. Now they are getting the pleasure of the palaces, but they are still unhappy because Krishna is leaving them. And that is the point to understand that, when Krishna is with us, then we are fine, we are protected, we are safe. Okay. Um, there is a sloka in Chaitanya Charitamrita. It is mentioned, Jivere Surupe Hoy Krishnera Nityadas, that the actual position of the Jiva is to always remain as the servator of the servator of the servator of the Lord. Dasa Dasa Anudasa. That is the real nature of the Jiva. So see, when we talk about the real nature, we can take some examples for our understanding. For example, chili. What is the real nature of chili? The chili is very bitter. You cannot eat chili. Your mouth will start burning. You can have smoke coming from your ears. So chili is very, very bitter. You cannot eat. What is the nature of sugar? So sugar nature is, it is very sweet. That's the nature. Just imagine a day comes when you eat a chili and that is sweet, and you eat sugar and that is very, very bitter. So what will happen? There will be, calamities. Somebody is going to eat the cake, and in that, if you put sugar, and sugar is supposed to be like chili, then the cake is gone. In the same manner, if in what you're cooking in your dishes, if you put chili and it becomes sweet, so the dish is gone. So Prabhupada is explaining, I was reading yesterday seventh canto in my house, Bhagavatam. So Prabhupada, Prahlad Maharaj is explaining the nature of Jiva is to serve. But when when the Jiva is acting against the nature, then the problem starts. Then the Jiva can never be happy. Prahlad Maharaj is further explaining. He says that that people are forgetting their nature, so that is why they are not treating Krishna as the supreme personality. They're not treating Krishna as the master. So when Krishna is the master, how do we understand that? So suppose in our house we have our altar, and we have our house, and the boss of the house is Krishna. So we cannot just say that the boss of the house is Krishna and do all our nonsense activities in the house. Then it is just for the namesake. It will not have any impact, you know. So how do we make Krishna as the master? So when we are preparing some bhoga, when we are preparing some food items, so the first thing should go to the master. So which means we should offer the bhoga, and master will not like if you give bhoga with becoming angry that, oh, I have to give to the master, only then I can eat. Then the master will understand and he will not like it. And when the master is not happy, then you are also not happy. How can you be happy when the master is not happy? He will give you, left, right, center. Then this is the example of a master. So in your house, when you enter the house, we should always offer obeisances in front of the altar, because you went out, you offer obeisances, you came back, you offer obeisances, because you are communicating with the master. You give arati in the morning, and then you hear about the master, you read about the master. then you are, then actually we are living by that point that Krishna is the master and we are the servitor, we are servants. So yesterday I was explaining this to my children in the class in my house. So I was explaining this term by saying Krishna is the master, master, master. So my youngest one said, Prabhu, Papa, please stop saying master, master. Krishna sounds better than, sounding as master. So you can say Krishna is better and master is something which I'm not able to connect with. So that is the point, our real nature is to serve. And if we forget our real nature, then we can never be happy because we are acting against our nature. We are serving Maya, we are serving so many other people, which are the agents of Maya. But we are not serving Krishna, and that is why we become unhappy. So here you see Mother Kunti, she was very, very, she's trying all her best so that Krishna stays with them. And so I will read further. Prabhupada is writing in the purport. He says the Pandavas are most fortunate because with all good luck, they were entirely dependent on the mercy of the Lord. See, this is very important to understand that what is the meaning of being dependent on the mercy of the Lord. So many times this has been misunderstood and people quote this and people consider devotees as, somebody who's doing nothing. They say, oh, everything Krishna will do, then what will you do? Prabhupada is very clearly explaining in the purport. He says that being dependent on the Lord does not mean that, we become a parasite who does nothing, who just, lives on the blood of the animal on whose body the parasite is. So we should not be parasite. We should do all our duties properly. And then for the results, we should depend on Krishna. Karmanyavadhikarestu ma phaleshu kadachana. We should depend on the results for Krishna. That Krishna, if you think it is good, let it be. If you think this will be, whatever result you want to give, you give because you know best. And I do not know the best. I am just thinking what could be the best for me. So I am, from my limited senses, I am trying. So we should not give up trying. Being dependent does not mean that we give up trying. We have to try. The students, they have to get up early in the morning and they have to read, they have to study. And then they have to be very, very vigilant in the class when the teacher is teaching the topics. We cannot say that, oh teacher, you are teaching Jada Vidya. So there is a small story I remember Gauranga Das Prabhu was sharing in his class, that there was a person who newly joined Krishna consciousness, and then after staying for a couple of months in the hostel, the boy returns to his house. And in the house, the mother is saying, he's the eldest one, so the mother is telling him that, just go and help your younger brothers in their education, in their studies. So this person, he says, what is this you are asking me to teach them? This is Jad Vidya. Jad Vidya is going to bind us in this material world. So this person rejects teaching his younger brothers and sisters. Then the mother is upset. Then the mother says, okay, fine. You go to the market and bring some potatoes. So this person says, bringing potatoes from market, is this only my job left? I want to do prachar. Prachar is my, my first responsibility is doing prachar. I will not go to the market and bring potatoes. So just imagine if this is how we behave, then people, they will think that these devotees are the worst people. They do not help their family. They do not cooperate in the family members. They do not do any service. They are just talking. We should not be like that. We should be doing our duties properly, and then we should depend on Krishna. See, everything can be molded with the understanding. If you're educating your children with the material education and also your spiritual education, reading Srimad Bhagavatam daily in your house, so they are becoming the perfect person in the future. And then whatever they earn, they can also use that earning and their education, their knowledge in Krishna consciousness. It is very important that everything we do in that mood. So that is what is the meaning. So being dependent does not mean that we do not do anything, but it means that we do with everything with the right understanding, focusing on Krishna consciousness, and then for the results we depend on Krishna, and we are not affected by the results. Suppose I study 3 hours a day every day, and then in my exam there is someone else who was studying only 2 hours, and he gets better marks than me. Then if I am upset, saying that, thinking that, oh, I was studying 3 hours and he was studying only 2 hours, he got better marks. That's not the point. The point is that, did I try my best? Did I give my best when I was preparing? In the same manner, nowadays book distribution is going on. So we cannot say that I was trying the book distribution for 8 hours and I could do only 8 books. But the other devotee, he or she tried for 4 hours and she did like 20 Bhagavad Gitas. So I'm upset. No, no, why should you be upset? You should be happy that you tried 8 hours. Your devotional service was there for 8 hours and the other person did only for 4 hours. So the results does not matter. What matters is what we try, how much we try. What matters is, did we try our 100% is something which matters. So when you try your 100%, do not worry about the results. That doesn't matter, because the results are the one which Krishna knows, something which is the best for you. So Krishna gives you that. Otherwise, Krishna will not give you that. Okay. So that is the win-win situation for all of us. Did we try our best? Is the question we should ask ourselves. Okay, then proceeding further, it is mentioned that in the material world, to be dependent on the mercy of someone else is the utmost sign of misfortune. So this is something which we can always relate to us, that many times we were dependent on others, and then we realized that, I was wasting my time so much and that person did not bother about me. But when we depend on Krishna, then the story is different. You take one step towards Krishna, Krishna takes 100 steps towards you. So, and he doesn't forget you. That's the beauty. Yesterday I was hearing Srimad Bhagavatam class in the temple. So the temple president was explaining that sometimes there are people who offend us. They are whatever you say, they will never listen. They will, for the moment they will be fine, but after some time they will again become the same person. So they are something called habitual offenders. They it's there in nature. They can never they can, maybe in this janma they can never be fine. They will be like this only. So for the habitual offenders, sometimes even if they come and ask forgiveness to us, we might be having that in our heart, that okay, he or she is asking forgiveness, but I know this person is not going to change. He or she will do the same thing again. Okay. So we may we may forgive them, but somewhere in our heart we have this feeling that this person, he is like this only, he will never change, like that. But Krishna does not like that. If you want to be a devotee of the Lord, then you cannot even have that feeling in your heart that, okay, I have forgiven you, but I know you are like this only. So which means you have not forgiven the person. So the point is, see, Krishna does not, he does not remember all these things. The moment you ask forgiveness, he will forget and he will forgive. So that is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. When we are in the service of the Lord, so we are always protected. Here, when we are in the shelter of someone else, we can never be protected. See, whose shelter can we take? You take someone's shelter, that person is also, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi is going to come to that person also. So we cannot, rely on someone like this, but we can always rely on the devotees of the Lord and on the Lord. So that way we are safe, we are protected. We know that Krishna, Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Krishna is going to protect us. Like Krishna protected Amrish Maharaj, like Krishna protected Prahlad Maharaj, like Krishna was protecting Dhruv Maharaj. We have several examples, like Krishna protected Ajamila. Recently, Radha Sugopika Mataji gave that class on Ajamila, lessons from that. So Krishna protected Ajamila also. He will not, he is not going to, forgive. And that is the confidence a devotee has got. Devotee knows that, I'm not doing everything perfectly and I'm doing things which may not be 100% good, but Krishna knows that I'm trying. And just because of my this effort, sincere trial which I'm doing, trying every day, getting up in the morning, trying every day to focus on my japa, trying my best to be the best in the preaching, trying my best to bring new souls in Krishna consciousness, trying to distribute prasadam, trying to distribute books. Just by this effort, which you all are doing, which you're trying, you don't know how much mercy which is going to come to you, how much how many janmas are being reduced from your lifetimes because of you this trying. So devotee knows that Krishna is not going to not going to miss me on that. When my chance comes, Krishna is going to take me back to Goloka, because he knows that I was trying. We have so much faith in Krishna that Krishna will not say no to us. So that is the faith, because we are trying from our sincere heart. So if you're dependent on others, then it can turn into misfortune. But if you remain dependent on Krishna, then it is the most fortunate thing which can happen to you. And then Prabhupada is explaining the material disease is due to thinking of becoming independent of everything. So there is a shloka, I'm not able to remember the first line of it, but it is something to do with the Hridaya Granthi. Hridaya Granthi means the knot in the heart. So in one of the purport, Prabhupada is explaining in seventh canto, Prabhupada is saying that the main reason for the jiva to remain in the material world is this Hridaya Granthi, this particular desire, this lust. So lust, how do we understand what is lust? Because that is our main reason for us to remain in material world. And that is the reason that we are trying to become independent and enjoy. See, we cannot enjoy till we are dependent, right? So suppose Sunday you want to go somewhere and enjoy. How can you go? How can you go and enjoy independently? Because Sunday is the Sunday feast. If you do not come, your leader will call and ask, Mataji, Prabhuji, today is Sunday feast. We have a service. Where are you? This is a great opportunity for seva. Srimad Bhagavatam class is there. If you do not go to the temple, there will be devotees calling you from temple, your colleagues. Hare Krishna Mataji, today we did not see you in the temple. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, not to be seen. So these are our reminders. We are dependent. We cannot, leave everything and go. So a person who wants to enjoy, he wants to become independent first, so that nobody questions them. Nobody can ask them anything. And by becoming independent, the person takes the biggest risk in his life. You would have seen this in the National Geographic Channel or on Discovery Channel. I used to see in my school days. So they show this documentary where there is a big herd of buffaloes. A big group of buffaloes are there, very powerful buffaloes. They are together. So when the lion attacks them, they are safe because they are all together. The lion doesn't dare to catch them and kill them. But then in that group of buffaloes, there is a very powerful male buffalo. So the more male buffalo thinks that I am very powerful now, these lions cannot touch me, they cannot do anything to me. So what this buffalo does, the male buffalo who is very powerful, he tries to go out and venture out of the group, and tries to become independent and enjoy the forest. And when he tries to do that, suddenly he sees that there is not one, two, three, four, but 10 or 15 lions. They're coming and attacking this person, this buffalo. And the buffalo tries to save himself, but the buffalo couldn't do anything. He tries to run here, there, struggles hard, but finally, eventually gives up and dies. So this is what happens when we try to become independent. And the reason why we are becoming independent, because we want to enjoy. Like that buffalo, he could have been in the group and enjoyed with the group, but he wanted to go out. It wanted to go out and enjoy, and see what happened. The buffalo died. He could not survive. The same thing happens to the person who wants to enjoy and enjoy the lust, and then wants to go out of the group and remain independent, but then eventually gets killed by Maya and troubled by Maya, and then comes back into Krishna consciousness after 10, 15, 20 years after wasting so much time. So what is lust? So in a very simple manner to understand, Radheshyam Prabhu explains this, that suppose the child and the mother is going to the market, and the mother gives the gems, one gem, to the son. So the son will eat the gems. I'm sure you would have eaten that gems, kind of sweet, small toffees are there. So that packet, so one child will take one and he will like it. Then he will say, Mama, can I have two more? So the mother will give two more gems to the child, and the child is happily taking that. But after some time, the child will say, Mama, can I have four packets and can I eat them? So mother says, no, four packet is harmful to you. I should not give you. See, this is how the lust comes into picture. We are not required to take something. We don't need something. Okay, the need is only limited, but we want more than the need. The want of, uh, asking something which is not required is something can be termed as lust. The child could have been happy by one gem or two gem, but he is asking four packets, which is harmful. And when the lust is not satisfied, the next step is anger. When the mother says, no, you cannot get four, the child is becoming angry. So see, this is how it starts, the greed and then lust and then anger. It comes krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti brahmashat buddhinasha, buddhinashat pranashyati. So this is the series. This is how it follows. So this is our main reason to remain in this material world, because we want to enjoy, and we want to enjoy something which is even not required for us. We can eat 2 meals a day, but we want to eat 5 meals. We can be happy in a small house, but we want a big palace. We can be happy in a small car, which is required for us to travel, but we want a very luxurious big car. We take a bigger loan for that and make our life miserable. And then we say we do not get time for Krishna consciousness. So everything, when we make a decision in our life, such crucial decisions, we should always take the opinion of the senior Vaishnavas. Sometimes what they say, we may not like it, but remember what they're saying is the best advice for us, and can save our money, can save our life, can save us from the expensive loans, and can save us from a lot of anxieties. So that is why Mother Kunti, she is very afraid, because Krishna is leaving. And even though the enemies are done, but still there are so many people who are having enmity from enmity of Krishna. And Prabhupada, in this purport, he gives various examples. He gives the example of Ravana, who was trying to build the staircase to heaven. He doesn't want to follow the the rules and regulations, the nature of laws which are set. He wants to himself create a staircase, but he was unsuccessful. And whatever, so one thing is, whatever people, the big powerful people like Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, all these people, they tried to enjoy the material nature, thinking that they are not going to be in line with the nature of laws, and they will be still happy, but they were destroyed. And we see various other examples, people who were running behind their lusty desires. Like Ravana had more than 1,000 or 2,000, not even the queens, the maids with whom he was having physical relationship, but he was not satisfied. We see example of Mughal Emperor Akbar the Great. He had 3 wives and 1,000 illegal wives, but he was not satisfied. So these things can never satisfy a person. And when a devotee practices Krishna consciousness through these examples and through his own personal realizations, the person understands that I shouldn't be wasting my time in this sense gratification and in this so-called enjoyment. It is first of all not even enjoyment, and in this complicated way of life. And then by reading Prabhupada books, by the senior guidance, we start living a very simple life and very refined thinking. Simple living, high thinking, that is what Prabhupada says. And that makes our life very, very blissful and happy. So this was about this particular shloka where Mother Kunti is trying to stop Krishna. And again and again, Prabhupada is explaining that if you are dependent on Lord, you are sanatha. If you are independent of the Lord, you are anatha. Always remember that example of buffalo. If you try to become independent, you'll be killed. Nobody, ever survived becoming independent. When we were in school, we had a uniform and we used to go school on timing. So we used to think, "Arey, this is bad." But when we went to the college, we started going for movies, we started going for bunking different classes. But then we realized we have only, created troubles for us. So being in school was good than being in college. And then when we were in college, we used to think, let me go out of the college. Once I have my own job, I'll be independent. So see, we started earning, we got a job, and we became independent, but we also invited a lot of anxieties and stress and trouble. Correct? So becoming dependent is good. People say, no, the best days are school days. But in the school days, we used to say, no, no, we wanted to become independent. So becoming dependent, having a shelter of a devotee is the best thing. You are protected. There is an umbrella. Taking the shelter of Guru is the best thing. You are having an umbrella on your head. Otherwise, it is a very difficult, difficult situation. You're taking a very big risk, because just imagine you do not have a protector. At least we can say, Krishna, you will protect me. Everything happens, we'll say, Krishna, Hare Krishna. And so we have a protector. But if we do not follow Krishna consciousness, then whom are you going to be, reaching for a protection? So today is also Christmas. So I just wanted to, just spend like 5 minutes on the Christmas day also. So today is also the all auspicious appearance day of Jesus Christ. And Prabhupada, in his books, he writes that, Jesus, he always mentioned that I am the Son of God. and his teachings and his preachings was purely on that point that, I am the Son of God. So in one of the book, which is Aquarian of Gospel, it is mentioned that Jesus Christ, he visited Jagannath Puri. I'll just share my screen and show it to you all so that you can, see. It is as per Google also. You can also Google and check. So see, when I Googled, I found this response. I hope my screen is visible. So Google said, I believe you're asking about the Aquarian of Gospel of Jesus the Christ and its reference to Jagannath. The book written by Levi H. Dowling claims to be the true story of the life of Jesus, including the last 18 years silent in the New Testament. According to the book, Jesus visited Jagannath Puri and lived closely with the priestly order. Are you happy to see? Are you happy to hear this and see this? That Jesus Christ, first he took the blessings of Lord
Yes,
Jagannath.
yes, yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. So see, he took the blessings of Lord Jagannath and lived closely with the priestly order. And the book claims that the Jesus was a devotee of Lord Jagannath. So this is a very powerful thing. And if you see, Jesus Christ always mentioned that I am the Son of God. He never said that I am God. You see, Muhammad also said, I am the Son of God. I'm preaching what God says. But even he did not say that I am God. But see, last couple of classes back when I was taking the class, I mentioned, I think 17 references in the scriptures which says that Krishna is saying, I am the Supreme, I am the Father. And Krishna says, I am sending my devotees. There are two types of devotees. One is Nitya Siddha and other one is sadhana siddha. So nitya siddha are the devotees which Krishna is sending in the material world, that you please go and preach. You preach these people about my glories, and that is what Jesus was doing. And then Jesus gives 10 commandments, and the first, I think one of the commandment was, thou shall not kill. So Prabhupada says that you can be happy if you are a Christian, but you should be following what are the guidelines of Jesus which is given. Should not be just making your own amendments in that, and then for your own tongue and taste you just try to be happy. So that was Jesus Christ, and that is how the connection is there, that he took the blessings of Lord Jagannath and then he started preaching the glories of the Lord. So this is how it is connected. And people, they think, okay, they can eat meat, and they say that Jesus was also eating meat. But when I went to Mayapur, then there was a session in Mayapur where it was mentioned that Jesus was never eating meat. The term meat, which was referred in that time, it just meant the bread. So that is what is the misconception people have, and they start eating this one. And along with that, I also want to mention this point, that when we refer Bible, and when we see the references, there are four prominent references which talk about the birth of Jesus, but nowhere there is nowhere there is a particular Amoglila Das Prabhu says that there is no particular reference which says that Jesus was born today. But then, yeah, there are different references, and based on that, we celebrate. In the same manner, see, we have in scriptures about Lord Sri Ram, Lord Krishna. The tithi is there, the date is there, the time is there, the event is there, and the naming ceremony. All the details are there. But what is happening nowadays? People call scriptures as mythology, and many people, they do not know the meaning of mythology. They keep referring this word Indian mythology, Indian mythology. We should never use the word mythology. Mythology means something which is a myth, but it is not a myth. Our scriptures are never a mythology, so we should never use the word mythology. We should always refer Srimad Bhagavatam as one of the most authentic source, which has been accepted by United Nations also. The most authentic source of information is Vedas. That is what United Nations says. So today is Christmas, and today, if you want to make the best of it, so, and if you want to please Jesus Christ, so you should chant more round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and probably what you can do, you can make nice bhoga for Lord Jagannath, and then you can offer this bhoga to Lord Jagannath, because Jagannath's devotee's birthday is today, and I think Jagannath will be happy if we offer nice bhoga items to Jagannath, and even Jesus Christ will be very happy with that. So we take the blessings of Jesus Christ also today, and pray to him that he was preaching the glories of the Lord. And he is also in our party because we are also doing the same preaching. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter, he says that those who are preaching my glories, those who are trying to explain. I think today's a quote also is there in Guru Maharaj is saying this quote. Guru Maharaj is mentioning that Krishna says in 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that those who are preaching my glories are most dearest to me. So let us take the blessings of Jesus Christ also today. Let us please Lord Jagannath, and let's take the blessings of all senior Vaishnavas. And I also want to thank His Grace Mathrapati Prabhuji for giving me this opportunity to speak Srimad Bhagavatam. And I seek forgiveness from all of you if I have committed any mistakes. So I'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Patita Pavan Guru Maharaj ki jai. If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask your questions. Or if you have a comment, you can also make that. Hare Krishna.